Hello and welcome to the Big Arsenal Discussion. I'm your host Giles, and joining me today are regulars Amanda, Robbie and special guest Claude. Alright, so it's been a long time since we've met up and had a discussion. I think today was a good time, or this week's a good time to reconvene after the international break. And
feel-good factor.
The feel-good factor, exactly. And Watford, but the biggest one was the 2-0 victory at home to Bayern Munich. I think we can all agree that it was one of the performances of Wenger's tenure. I want to ask you all, and start with you, Amanda. What did you think of the performance? Did you expect that performance and result on Tuesday night?
No. I thought we'd get a draw. I just want to say something. When Bellerin intercepted for that, the goal, the cross he did, is in front of me. So he's like that. I'm sitting here, you know where I sit, don't you? He went like that. I was up. As soon as he got the interception, screamed for him to go to the corner flag, because it was only a minute to go, wasn't it? And if he would have done that, crossed, and then had gone and scored, he'd have been lambasted for what he did. He was so fast. It was phenomenal. To be honest, you can talk about Bellerin, but you can talk about all of them. Everyone was brilliant. Petr Cech was my man of the match. End of story. I'm so angry with Wenger that he did not play him in the matches before, but let's not go there. Brilliant. I thought Coquelin was superb. My boy, Ozil.
My boy too.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Since when's that went?
Flip flop, flip flop. Yeah, because you understand a little bit more about football now, aren't you? The team were brilliant. Monreal, I mean, honestly, it was just brilliant. And set up right, tactics were right, subs were right, Wenger was right, the team were right, and the fans, the atmosphere, we're all there, weren't we? What did you think of that atmosphere? I mean, that has to be one of the best nights at the Emirates for me. There was one, I think against Napoli was just as good as that, but it was just, I thought Bayern Munich were phenomenal. I love their fans, and they staged their protest, came in late. I thought they were brilliant. I love the fact that Arsenal stood up and applauded them.
Yeah.
We did that, because it is fans, it's all unified, isn't it, with the ticket prices. I love Bayern Munich, I love the way they play, I love Pep. It was just like a lovely match. Obviously, winning 2-0, beating Bayern Munich, who haven't lost in 12, is phenomenal, and our confidence is rising with each game. Started at Leicester, then Man United, obviously Watford, and now Bayern Munich. So, yeah, happy days.
Rob, you were only fans beforehand. Just give us a sort of a view of what the atmosphere was like before the game.
Before the game, nobody gave us a chance, did they? I mean, every fan that you spoke to, they were like, nah. You!
I called it the night before, Robbie. Robbie should watch me. I called it the night before.
Yeah, I never saw that. I
on the internet, on the night was on the Hangout, I called it and I said 1 or 2-0, and I called it.
All right, fair enough, fair
Good
play.
confidence.
But the majority of fans that I spoke to, they were like, nah, you've got no chance. I remember when I was leaving to go to the game, right? And the guys in the office, they go, why are you even bothering to go for? They were mocking me like that, you know? And I said, listen, we've got a shot. We've beaten Bayern before, all right. But I think this was much better, because when we beat them the last time, it was we were kind of out anyway. So, but this time, what I loved about that performance was it was just a different Arsenal performance. You know what I mean? They had all of the ball. We just played on the counter, and we were ruthless, you know. And I thought Theo as well had a really good game that night, because his pacing behind gave them lots of problems. They were really, really wary of it. And it was just, you're playing, I think Bayern at the moment, best team in the world. And we played them, and we deserved to win. It wasn't a fluke. We deserved that game. And Wenger's tactics, we're always hearing that he's got no tactics, and that he just goes out there and says, just go and play. But there was a definite tactical switch the other night, The tactics were, we're going to let them have the ball. We're going to defend really well, and it worked. And our defensive record at the moment is absolutely awesome. It's fantastic.
Clean sheet before Leicester, isn't it?
Claude, just go through a few of the individuals. The lamppost moved Fantastic.
Got used to hit him, didn't he? He stood there and hit him.
He'll be listening to this. You know, he takes note of what you say.
I criticise him because when he plays well, I say he plays well as well. I do say he plays well, and I'm always encouraging him. Or Amanda might have heard me a few times. I'm always going, "Go on, Ollie, go on, Ollie." You know.
At Watford, you did.
Yeah.
Watford.
After the game, I will. If he doesn't play well, I'll criticise. If he plays well, I'll say he plays well. There's no hypocrisy in that, is there? Yeah. And I thought Bellerin, that run he made as well was outstanding. And you know what I was saying the other day? Could we turn him into a sort of Gareth Bale? Because
he started off as a right-sided midfielder, didn't he, at Barcelona, and then we kind of converted him into a right back.
But I think we should. I think to me he's more of an attacking player because he does show a little bit of weaknesses, like defensively with Costa. Took him apart a couple of times.
Yeah, but Costa's going to do that to most. Costa's going to do that to most right backs, the best right backs in the world, isn't he?
Yeah, but I know that. But he took him. But overall, he played really well. But I think he's more of an attacking player for me. I think we should. Like the way Gareth Bale was converted into a attacking.
It's a possibility.
And also, I thought as Robbie said, he put another plan into place, and this is where last year I got a lot of criticism for praising Chelsea the way they play, parking the run, and we've done exactly the same.
Did you?
Right? Hold on.
No.
We don't even know how to park the bloody bus.
It wasn't a Chelsea.
No.
You can dress it up as much as you want, right? But I believe the way he done it. I praise him for it because it gets results. I don't care how we play. If we win the game, whether we play entertaining football or we play park the bus football,
we were entertaining.
It's entertaining, but it's also we gave up a lot of possession as well.
I think most teams are going to do that against Bayern Munich. I mean,
that's what Mourinho got criticised.
But I wouldn't say it was part of the bus. I'd say it was a disciplined performance.
Yeah, but
right, we didn't.
But that's the sort of performance that you need against teams like that to win games, because you cannot go out with the mentality, and the Wenger in the past has gone out with the mentality to outplay teams.
Yeah, but Chelsea were doing that against every team. You know what I mean? No matter what, it wasn't. We're looking on it and we're saying to ourselves, "Well, Bayern Munich."
No, I'm not saying do it every game, but I'm saying. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that sometimes you have to play that way.
Yeah. I think in recent times our biggest away performances we've actually changed the way we play.
Man City away was the same.
Man United, a 2-1 at Old Trafford, and now this performance.
We had something like 30% possession at one point.
Yeah.
Well, possession doesn't win games.
No.
Is it almost overrated?
And it's strange to be watching a game at the Emirates. I mean, I've seen games like that away, but at the Emirates where a team's got way more possession than you, it just seems strange.
And
but
also,
we were letting them have the ball.
Where I sit is down near the East Stand North Bank, so the first half is always over there. The first half was all in our half. It was the most bizarrest thing, you know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
Because obviously they had the ball the whole time. It's like I kept watching the game, and then obviously the second half, it was just brilliant. I mean, anyone that can't enjoy that, even my dad enjoyed it. 2-0. Thank God we scored that goal.
That's watching you.
Even the first goal was against the principles of the manager. It was locked in. We don't do that enough. In fact, we do that more often. We don't do that enough. We try to, and we try to take the free kick. It's square ball. We don't do that enough.
I feel like you with Giroud. I feel like you with Giroud, but he held the ball up brilliantly when he came on, and he was brilliant.
He's a super sub.
He is a fantastic sub, and this is the second time he's done it. He did it at Watford, and it worked. And I just feel that he put his head in where many wouldn't have done what he did. He could have got injured doing that, and it was just brilliant. I wish the Ozil goal was actually a goal straight off, because the whole ground didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. I was looking at the odds going nuts for not scoring. I've gone like this, and all of a sudden I've seen the ref point there, and Ozil's on his, and it was intermittent. Yeah, it was a shame, but
can we go to the subject that both you and Claude have brought up about super sub? Now, some people say that Giroud is a super sub, but is it more horses for courses? Are there games that we're gonna actually have to start him in, and maybe put Theo on the bench, or maybe now that Ramsey's out, put Theo on the right?
This is what's going to happen.
It could work really well.
Because I don't think he's got confidence to start the Ox, because I don't think the Ox gives him that defensive
He
option.
doesn't. He's a worrying defence.
So, but it's strange the other night, as we were going back to the other night, probably the poorest player on the pitch was Alexis Sanchez.
He was tired.
Because he was giving the ball away.
His
bad
possession.
position.
I think he had the worst possession stats of the whole team. But what I saw in the first half, because we was down towards just right of the dugout and towards the clock end, and what he was doing constantly in the first half was pressing high and encouraging the others, bellowing to the others to get forward and press high. He knows how to play against.
I'm not saying that what he was doing. What I'm saying is passing and he getting caught in possession.
Yes, and he does that a lot. He comes back, he gets the ball in defence.
I'm a massive fan of Alexis.
Oh God, yeah.
I think there's
He comes to the territory though.
I think there's a fan.
Anyone slags off Alexis Sanchez.
I think he comes to the territory.
I think there's a fan the other night.
He gave the ball away.
Kenny the other night, and he said a word which I thought was so true. He said that there's some players tonight who gave up their game for the team, and I think Alexis was one of them. You know what I mean? He worked his socks off, and he was I see that as leadership when you give up your natural game for the greater good of the team, and then when you're pressing people and you're saying, "Yo, come on," that's leadership. That's what sometimes we've lacked in games. That's what I saw the other night. That's what I've seen actually, not just the other night, I've seen in games when we played Leicester and we were a goal down. I like some of the signs that I'm starting to see at Arsenal. I just hope that we can grab onto this and keep it going consistently.
And the importance of having a world-class goalkeeper come to effect.
Absolutely.
Because when we were 1-up, he slowed the game down, he was talking to his defenders, you could see differences between him and
Compare it to when we played Bayern the last time, right?
Yeah.
When we got off to a brilliant start
Chesney,
and we missed that penalty,
Chesney
right?
got sent off.
And then Chesney goes, he's not concentrating on the game, rushes out, rush of blood and gets sent off. That wouldn't have happened to Czech.
Yeah.
No,
Czech would have kept us in that game and we could have won that as well.
So why didn't he pick him
for the two goalkeepers? The two goalkeepers the other night. If it wasn't for the two goalkeepers the other, that could have ended 4-4.
Both of them were men in the match, actually, weren't they?
I mean, Neuer's the best goalkeeper in the world, depending on which poll you refer to. But if Czech had dropped a clanger like that for the first goal, I mean, think back to...
He done at West Ham, though, didn't he?
West Ham. He was a bit jittery against Crystal Palace. You know, people saying, "Oh, why did we buy him? Like that's the reason why Chelsea let him go." Blah blah blah. But ever since he's been playing absolutely top class.
I think I put that down.
And you're right.
Nerves.
Yeah, and getting to know them. Yeah,
and also,
and you're right.
What did I say?
You're right, yeah.
Give him a month.
Yeah,
he probably. That's what I tweeted straight away. I don't know what tweeted the guy. I went for all those twats that didn't want Petr Cech. Give him a chance. Give him time. It's like Ozil, really. I've loved him from day one, haven't I? This season he's come on, he's got used to the Premier League, he's got used to living in London, everything for him is coming together now. People need to have a bit of patience with overseas players. Also, Cech was used to having John Terry in front of him. It's a whole new thing for him. He was at Chelsea for years. I knew he would come good. I knew he'd have a bit of a dodgy start. I had that feeling, I said that, but Robbie's right, the difference that man's going to make. You know, we feel, it's like having Cech, it's like having Coquelin, it's like having Ozil, it's the spine again. Koscielny was great the other night.
And all those people who've been waiting for Coquelin to fall.
Why haven't I don't think
they've been like, no, there's been a lot of fans who are like, yeah, he did all right, but let's wait and see. Yeah. This guy's now doing this. This is a long time now.
But he's done it from day one.
Week in, week out, he performs.
But
Monreal, Nacho Monreal, who used to be the scapegoat for all Arsenal fans.
I still like another one.
He's owed such an apology. He is out. The other night, apart from Cech, for me, the next best player, Monreal. He was outstanding.
There was so many players. You're saying Monreal and Cech.
There wasn't a bad.
Coquelin's discipline in front of the back four as well. He was actually also talking and organising as well. So many players took the leadership role, and if you go back to the Invincibles team and Amy Lawrence's book, she talked of there being different leaders, not just the captain, but different leaders throughout the team, and you can see that's kind of developing now. I want to go back to your comment you made a few minutes ago about why didn't he start him in the first two games. If you're buying Peter Cech,
that's a whole new question.
Can I just say something? I am so angry about this because this is the Champions League. This isn't the Carling Cup. I'm sorry, I'm not demeaning the Carling Cup. You play your best 11. I don't care who it is. I don't care who he thinks the best 11 is. You play him, right? Listen, he ain't got cramp. He's not sitting on the bench because if Spina gets injured in minute 1, he's on for the game. So what? He's going to take that risk. I've had this argument with a close mate of mine who's not a gooner, and I just said, listen, you play your best team. Ospina is a decent goalkeeper. I'm not slating him. What he did could happen to any goalkeeper. Would Czech have done that? Who knows? We may not be in this position if he'd have played him.
Czech wouldn't have done that.
Okay, we don't know, do we, for facts, but we don't think he would have done something like that. But
you ever seen Czech do something like that? I've never.
No, but what I'm saying, it could have happened.
I've seen Ospina do that
He
before.
might not have made the defence any better. They weren't great that night either.
No.
But what I'm saying is you play your best 11, and I think Wenger knows, because he did make a slight remark a week later, and he realises, and fair enough, I'd rather him come out and say, okay, he's not going to say big mistake. Ospina, he's got to build him up. Ospina's now injured. So I don't even know who our third goalkeeper is.
If we'd have played our best teams in the first 2 games, we'd be more or less through now.
And that was my point.
Claude, do you think? I mean, there's been a lot of speculation as to why Ospina was given the start.
What I think he's done there, what I think he's done, he's underestimated the opponent.
Yes.
And he thought he'd get away with it.
And
he's probably said, look, I'm going to give you a few games as well. So he thought, this is the sort of opposition I can get away with it. But let's I mean, I blamed us. I was one about it, but it wasn't really. We didn't lose that game because of Ospina. There was a number of
mentality.
It was not only that, he made a couple of other changes in defence. I think you should keep the same team. Keep flowing with the same team. You don't need to make changes after.
No, but Claude, you've got to play your best 11. This is Champions League.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Don't underestimate the Liga
swapping players around.
You know what, they're decent size, and that's what he did. Exactly what you said. He thought, Ospina, all right, give Czech a rest.
He's made a lot of mistakes this year. I mean, to me, he started this season with Giroud. Why did he start with Giroud? Will Walcott should have been starting from the start of the season. He was brilliant in the cup final. We left the cup final. He done well in the Community Shield. Why did he start Giroud?
But we don't know everything, do we? So maybe Theo wasn't red. There may have been something. We don't know. I'm playing devil's advocate. I agree with you. I don't know why Theo wasn't on, but we don't know what actually goes on in training or his view. And now he is starting Theo, and Giroud's coming on his sub.
In training, Ospina's world class. And Czech's dropping the ball. That's why he didn't play.
So we've got a run of games coming up. We've got Everton now coming up on Saturday. We've got West Sheffield Wednesday away. Sheffield Wednesday are definitely the game. I know it's Carling Cup, shouldn't belittle it, but if you want to give players, the fringe players, an opportunity, Sheffield Wednesday's a chance, isn't it?
These two were as well, but I was at Tottenham as well, and obviously it's just because it's Carling Cup don't make any difference because it's Tottenham. You want to win anyway. But to watch Flamini score those 2 phenomenal goals, and then him to come up to us, and you could see the passion in him. So if we can keep in the Carling Cup for players like that, I'm all for it. Absolutely. To give all the fringe players a go, absolutely. And if he does that the whole way through, great. And we'll see where we go. But, the run of games are coming. Everton are going to be a bloody tough game on Saturday night. Yeah. We're normally knackered. I mean, we're going to be knackered after that match.
It's the worst sort of game to play.
It really
is.
But the good thing is we played at home. So we're not going to have.
And we've got a great record against Everton.
They're always difficult. But
we've got a great record against Everton as well.
And we're coming down from a big high as well.
But this is the thing about consistency.
And you know what's going to happen. And I hope the crowd are going to just come in on. And it's going to be like after the Royal Mason. The crowd's going to be not up for it like they were the other night, are they?
Claude, can I just say something? Why do you say coming down from a big high? We could start the game on a big high.
No, what I'm saying, I don't say where I'm coming from.
All right, it's a massive match, but Everton aren't a small club, are they? So, and we're live.
It's a big game, but
yeah,
the mentality of our fans, I'm afraid, on Saturday. I've seen it before. We've had a big win against someone. The next game is, I consider Everton but to the fans, a lot of the fans, they don't consider it a big game.
I'm not so sure.
I think the fact it's the night game, the fact it's a night game as well will help it. I think
Saturday evening, and also we're on a great run.
We're on a great run. Yeah, you know what I mean. I think it's very important that the players start off with a very good tempo, and then the fans will be right behind them.
What I'm trying to I don't think I'll put my point. It's a game where a lot of our fans.
Stop moaning, man. We're gonna be all right.
No,
you're trying to make it.
I know what he's trying to say.
It's a game they take for granted, for instance.
Yeah,
No,
you're right.
not
You're
even
right.
to don't.
No, but I don't. You don't. But a lot of our fans do. Because I think it's a really tough
It's a
game.
tough game Saturday night.
I think it's a tough game.
Which is good.
But
I think
after
it's
you've
good.
just beaten Munich, I've seen it before. I've seen it all
I mean,
before.
there could be a lull Saturday
Yeah.
evening, and the fans will. You can hear it, but I think, as
Start
Robbie said, it's a
fast.
Saturday night. I think.
Also the players, they've got to come out with a fast tempo like
They
normal.
do though. They usually do it.
Yeah, but
they have been.
I've noticed if we've beaten a big side and then we've got Everton, which is not considered like that we. They don't lift themselves.
No, but also
That's the problem we've got.
But-
This is the big problem with our players at the moment, and it's the mentality of our players.
Well, you
But
say
Bayern
that.
Munich will raise it. Like
Okay,
Olympiacos, we were
Let
flat.
me give you this instance. We beat Man United 3-0. We went on an international break. Usually come back from the international break, you never know what kind of
Yeah.
mindset your players are in. We came back from the international break and we absolutely rinsed Watford eventually. You know, we didn't lose our focus.
But even
So I think
the tempo
that-
against Watford the first
Yes,
half was quite
yeah,
slow, wasn't
yeah,
it?
But that's the way Watford.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say, when we get a team like Watford, we were quite slow to start off with it. Although they did defend very well.
But can I just say something though? This is championship winning teams. They go to Watford, don't play great, score 3 goals, job done, get out. That how many times have United done this?
Yeah.
How many
Chelsea,
times have we
yeah.
seen this where they play all right? Watford could have got a goal. It's what we did. But also I do feel that the mentality of the fans is slightly changing because of this little run we're on. I think if we go 1-0 down Saturday, it isn't going to be as toxic as it would have been 6 weeks ago.
No.
I feel they'll get behind them, and I feel the players will be up for it. They're on this streak now, aren't they? I mean, that 3 games of clean sheets before the Leicester was only 2
Got the
at
best
Leicester.
defensive record in the Premier League. at the
Right,
moment,
so, you know,
which
big up
is,
to them. They've just
yeah,
beaten one of the
brilliant.
best teams in the world, near on the best team in the world. You know, I don't agree with
Do you
Claude.
think Do you think the atmosphere on Saturday? I mean, I've been asked. The atmosphere on Saturday is going to be like it was against Bayern and against Man United.
There'll
Do
be
you think
pockets of it. There'll be pockets of it. I think
If it
because
will,
we're all on a
I'll be
high.
happy. But
We're all on, and Red Action did a great job with
Yeah,
they
everything
did,
they
absolutely,
did, which
yeah.
big up to
Fantastic,
them.
they were well done.
And you know they care
I'm
about the
hoping
club.
so. But I've seen it before, and I hope things will change now. And I hope
It
now
was
we've got the
like,
confidence.
Champions League always raises it because that music it just lifts. It's
Yeah.
just
You say
chilling.
that, but the Olympiacos game it was like an opera. I was going to an opera. The Olympiacos game, you say.
Well, it is like an opera tune, isn't it?
Yeah, but hold on, Claude. We weren't on the run then. It's a bit different now. We're on a great run. We've not
Well, we
only...
just beaten Leicester hold on, the Olympiacos was just after the Leicester game. We just
But that was the
beaten
first
Leicester.
win we had. We hadn't beat United. Once when we tore United to pieces in that 20 minutes. I haven't even spoken about that. It's building now. And then Bayern has been, I mean, Watford, we were there. The atmosphere was fine. You know, we weren't great the first
If
half.
we ain't got
but
no confidence after
mean,
beating
that's my point.
Man United
It's built. It's high now.
and Bayern
I've seen it all
Munich
before.
and Tottenham away.
Shush
Don't
you.
to me, I identify those. I identify those as frees.
You can't live with my dad. I tell you.
Those are 3 really tough games, right? That we've come through in flying colours,
Exactly.
right?
Another one Saturday.
We need to get the confidence now.
Yeah.
Let me ask you finally, before we wrap this section up, I want to ask you, people have been saying before the Bayern Munich game, we should drop the Champions League, concentrate on the Premier League.
Total rubbish.
I know what your answer is, so I'm going to come to you and then Robbie. I think you were one of the people that
I
was saying
did.
that. Do you still believe that despite
Before
what
the
we
Bayern
saw-
Munich
seen?
game, I said I've got mixed feelings about tonight.
Tell
I
the
never,
truth.
ever want Arsenal to lose.
Tell the truth.
This is what I tweeted. For us to win the Premier League, we're 2 points off. They've got a big couple of injuries, City as well. For us to win the Premier League, we haven't got enough squad for the Champions League, Carling Cott and all that as well. I want to win the Premier League. I want to send Finger off in style. I'd love him to go next season, but anyway. Excuse me. I personally think that we've either got to come second or fourth. I do not want Thursday night football. That's not demeaning the Europa League. It'll affect our Premier League. I'd love to win the Europa League.
In what way?
What, Thursday night football to Sunday?
But that's like Wednesday to Saturday.
Yeah. But
It's the same
No,
time
I will, because
frame.
you travel to...
You might not.
Afghanistan and Russia and on a Thursday night.
Remember, that's we're going to.
No.
If you go to
the question you asked me is, do I want to be out of the Champions League to win the Premier League? I'll hold my hand up here and say yes. We are not going to win the Champions League. I know it's not impossible, but it's very unlikely that we will. So let's go for something that we've got a really good chance of winning. We haven't won the Premier League for God knows how long. So that is my thing. Fantastic beating Bayern. I'd love to beat them all. We'll go out this group, then we'll lose the next match. That's what we do. But yes.
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Why? Do you think we can win the Champions League?
I don't believe. One thing, winning breeds confidence. Every game you win, one game at a time.
Every game in the Premier League.
You win, but you win confidence. Brings confidence. You win Champions League game. Bayern Munich has given us a lift, hasn't it? So if we'd have lost the other night, would it have been give us a lift with Everton?
Not one
we would have gone
Arsenal
into the
fan
Everton
wants
game
us to
down.
lose, Claude.
Hey?
Not one Arsenal fan wants us to lose. Well, the question was, would we rather be out of the Champions League? We may not have a choice. We're still bottom after beating them. We may not have a choice here. We've got to go to Bayern and at least get a point, right? Then come out of the league and play who? Who are we going to be drawn against? We're not going to be first, are we? Here we go again.
But
Barca?
that is a defeatist attitude. I mean,
it's not. I'm being realistic.
What did when Man United won the treble, they wasn't worried about.
They had the squad.
Well, we should have the squad then. That's up to us to get the squad.
Okay, touch wood. Coquelin gets injured. What are we doing? Tell me where we're going.
Oh, yeah, but you can't go with that. You can't have that many. This is what I'm saying. This is the whole thing that's wrong with this club. We have to create a winning mentality. We can't say, well, we don't want to do this and we don't want to do that. It was good enough for Chelsea to win Europa League a few years ago. It's good enough for us. And this is the only country I know that discards the Europa League. Spain.
I'm not discarding it.
Germany discarded it.
If it wasn't on a Thursday night, I wouldn't be discarding it. I think we've got a better chance of winning the Europa League.
But what's the difference between Thursday and Sunday and Wednesday and Saturday? It's the same distance in days. I don't understand that.
And the travelling isn't.
Let me go to
travelling isn't. You go far-flung destinations.
You're travelling from Wednesday to Saturday.
No.
Travelling from Thursday to Sunday is the same
Europe
thing.
Europe is a bit different to the other far-flung destinations I just mentioned.
Afghanistan. I don't fancy an away game in Afghanistan.
You know what I mean? Russia on the Thursday night in January.
These players travel in so much comfort. It's untrue. I mean,
come on, Claude. What you want to be in Europe? I'd love to be in Europe and win it.
They've got virtual beds. They're travelling in executive beds. I mean, not being funny.
Do you think we can win the Champions League with this squad?
If we had in January, yes, I think.
With this squad. Because you know he's not going to win in January.
Anything's possible. I think it's possible.
Okay.
Because Chelsea,
of course it's possible.
Chelsea won. I'll tell you what. Chelsea won the Champions League with a squad that's not as good as this one.
And Liverpool won the Champions League with not a great squad.
So anything's possible.
But they weren't going for the league as well.
They
weren't going for the league as well. It's the different. That's my only thing. I think we're close to. We could be winning the league this year. I can't see us winning the Champions League.
That was a very lively debate. Give us your answers in the comment below, in the box below.
Don't be rude either.
Oh, you're always rude about me. It's fine. It's funny.
Yeah.
Give your comments in the box below and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.
So let's get down to it then. Predictions. How do you reckon it's going to go? Let's start off with you. Baz,
when you come to that, I didn't thought I was like this. Right, I never.